Today is Wednesday, August the 26th. It's 5:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so the market closed an hour ago. And I just want to give you an overview of the SPY, the SPY levels that Anne-Marie posted on her blog for her members today. And they've been accurate. It's as if she has a time capsule, and then this morning she went ahead to tonight and then came back and posted these levels. And I can say that they've been dead on for the last 3 days in spite of all of the volatility that we've seen in the market with 900-point Dow swings and 600, and even today was a bit volatile, but much less. So the first thing I do in the morning is I go to the Trading Book members blog and click on today's news, today's overview. And then she gives us levels. Okay, the levels are scattered throughout the blog, and you read them. And then what I do, see, here's the important part that she said right here, which is down here, this morning's probable market motion. So I've cut that out, and in MotiveWave, I've just pasted it as a sticky note here. And I'm going to point out the levels to you. 1932 was the first one. I think I probably want to push that to the back. Darn it. Anyhow, first one was 1932. So she gives us ES futures levels, but you can use those on the SPY. So 1932, this level right here. And then she mentioned 1921. So I can't get these to appear, but there it is, 1921. So here's my 1921 right here. And then she had a 1911. So I put in my 1911 right there. There's my 1911. There's my 1932. There's my 1921. The other level she said was 1896.75, which is right here. And then she said, if that fails, we'll have an 1885. And she gave us some other levels as well. So I have overlaid on top of this 1 day, 5-minute SPY chart, a Gartley pattern. Exceeded the Gartley 61.8% just by a little bit. But it's interesting to point out that, looks like we completed the Gartley pattern and we just stopped there for the day. Now that has nothing to do with Anne-Marie's post, so I'm going to remove that, and we're just going to focus on the levels that she gave us. And she mentioned that the morning's probable market motion gives us a bounce into resistance near 1932. And we opened here, and what did we do? We just fell short of 1932. Sellers were a little bit below that. They were at 1930. Provided it get past the pesky 1921 with a pullback into higher support of 1911. So what did we see after 1932? We came back to 1921, that level that she mentioned, and we chopped around here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 candles, and then plummeted down. That's the pesky 1921 level. And then she said into a pullback with higher support of 1911. Where did we start? Where did we stop? 1911. And we chewed around 1911 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a definitive 6th candle. And where did we go to next? 1896. And she said that her second scenario is a failure of the 1921 that pushes back to 1911, then 1896. And where did we go? 1896. And we chopped around there until we finally gave up 1896, which she said would send us back to targets of 1885. And where did we go? We touched 1885. 1, 2, 3 candles. Then we had a fourth one, a break. Then we had a confirming candle. And if you had any puts on, you got rid of them at this point, and then you'd start layering on your calls or short puts and moving up. And where did we see the next resistance? 1896, next resistance 1911, pulled back, but no confirming. Well, you could say that this was the confirming candle, but this one would give us pause and say maybe we're going to reverse. We did. Where did we chop around next? Well, we blew through the 1921. We had one candle here that poked above it, and then 1, 2, 3 just below, and then we drove through the 1921, and then we spent the close pretty much the last, here's the 355 candle right there, so we spent the last 15 minutes poking around 1932, and then we ended up in a rocket to where? Guess where we ended up? Pretty darn close to her 1950. Remarkable levels. So I encourage you to take a look at Anne Marie's blog. And, you know, I've been a member there for so long, I don't even know if this part of the blog is free or not. And since I'm automatically logged in, I can't tell you what it would be, you know, if I wasn't logged in. So check it out and talk to Anne Marie at Anne Marie Trades on Twitter, and ask her how you can get a hold of her blog levels, because in this type of volatility like we're seeing in the last 3 days, and it's going to continue, because let me show you something else. Let me go over here. I'm using MotiveWave. Let me go back to the SPY on a daily basis, but let me take bird's eye view, and let's go back to 2011. Let's not forget what we saw in 2011. People are saying that today's action might resemble 2011 more than it does 2007. What we saw in 2011 was this precipitous drop, which is exactly what we're seeing now. And now we've had 3 days that are quite similar to this. We may push up, but if we follow 2011's lead, we're going to have choppiness, but eventually we're going to come down to form a new low. And then we're going to go back, move up, and this is a butterfly pattern where we came up to 78.6 perfectly. Then we came down into an acceptable region below the 38.2 of AB, but we're in acceptable C range for the butterfly pattern, and then we finished at an exact perfect D level for a Gartley at 142.2, and then we dropped. So it wouldn't be unusual to expect that that could happen again today, because we've not today, but this time around, because we've certainly had that big drop, and we've certainly seen other candles. This is an inside candle, that's why it's black. We were inside Monday on Tuesday. We were inside Tuesday on Wednesday. So now we've had 2 inside days. We may see another inside day tomorrow. We may see a down day, we may see an up day. I'm personally leaning towards a down day tomorrow, Thursday. Hope that was informative. Please talk to Anne Marie. Get a hold of her levels, because I'm going to be trading with those again tomorrow.